Shalom, family. We're at Shemot 39, Exodus chapter 39, and in Shemot 38, we saw the final pieces of the Mishkan coming together. The copper, the lava, made from the women's mirrors, the courtyard, and the full accounting of every resource that Benei Yisrael brought as an offering. Every piece of metal was weighed, every donation was counted. Nothing was wasted and nothing was hidden. Now in Shemot 39, we move from the structure to the servants, from the building to the ones who will stand inside it. This chapter is about the sacred garments crafted for Aharon and his sons, the Kohanim, the priests, who would represent Benei Yisrael before the Creator. They aren't just clothes, these are uniforms of assignment, garments of identity, and like the Mishkan itself, every thread is intentional. So we'll look at the first verse. It says, and that's Shemot, Exodus chapter 39, verse 1. And it says, and of the blue and purple and scarlet material they made woven garments to do service in the set-apart place. And they made set-apart garments which were for Aharon as the Creator had commanded Moshe. So the craftsmen begin with the garments that they used to minister. And what we notice here is that the material that is used is blue and purple and scarlet. We do not see linen alone is not specifically mentioned as a separate fabric in this opening verse. We'd have read before in the other verses, and we had read about 3 chapters that described what the Creator wanted to be constructed. The difference between this chapter and the earlier chapters, even though we might be seeing a repeat, is actually showing how it was done versus what was instructed. So that's why we have a doubling up of these verses being read. But back to the fabric. The fabric, linen, is a very special material. And the other material that were mentioned, the blue and scarlet, these are utility garments of the ministry. So they serve a dual role. Right? So they're actually specifically for the covering garments, but not necessarily for the clothes for the priest. And it's still important. Even the covering of holy things is considered holy work. Every detail of care should be shown to the Mishkan. Even wrapping and transporting was a sanctified act. So it had to be mentioned. Israel didn't only honor the Creator with visible acts of worship. They honored him in their traveling, in transit, in preparation, in maintenance. And it shows their devotion, up in every details that we never see. We're going to read some more verses 2 to 10. He made the shoulder garment of gold, of blue and purple and scarlet material, and of fine woven linen. And they beat out sheets of gold and cut it into threads to work it in with the blue and purple and scarlet material and the fine linen, the work of a skilled workman. They made shoulder pieces for it to join it. It was joined at its 2 edges. And the embroidered band of his shoulder commanded Moshe. And they made shoham stones set in plated work of gold, engraved as signets are engraved according to the names of the sons of Israel. And he put them on the shoulders of the shoulder garment, stones of remembrance for the sons of Israel, as the Creator had commanded Moshe. So this is mention of the Ephod. And the Ephod, what was the Ephod? That was the signature garment of the Kohen Gadol, or the high priest. It's crafted from gold, blue, purple, scarlet, and fine linen. I would want us to pay attention to verse 3. It's remarkable. Going back to verse 3, it says, the craftsmen beat the gold into thin sheets, then cut it into threads and wove these threads together with the blue, purple, and scarlet linen. The gold was not separate. It was intertwined within the fabric itself. So you can imagine gold lining the fabric that is being worn. This is not a garment with a gold trim. The gold is the garment inseparable from the colored threads, and this speaks of to the Creator's glory being woven into the very identity of the one who serves Him. The onyx stones were placed on the shoulder straps and engraved on the names of the 12 tribes of Benei Israel. 6 names on each stone. The Cohen Gadol carried all Israel on his shoulders before the Creator. So having the 6 stones on his shoulders is symbolic of him actually carrying the 12 tribes on his shoulder. Right. So he did not represent himself before the Creator. He actually bore the weight and identity of an entire nation. He was a picture of intercession. Close. I want us to read some more. I've been reading a lot of color, purple and scarlet and blue. And let's see if that is repeated because it's already 2 times we have seen it mentioned in this chapter. All right, verse 8, and we're going to go on till verse 21. And he made the breastplate a work of a skilled workman, like the work of the shoulder garment, and of gold, of blue, and purple, and scarlet material, and of fine woven linen. It was square. They made the breastplate double, its length a span, its width a span doubled. And they filled it with 4 rows of stones, a row of ruby, a topaz, and an emerald with the first row, and the second row a turquoise, a sapphire, and a diamond, and the third row a jacinth, an agate, and an amethyst, and the fourth row a beryl, a shoham, and a jasper, set in plated work of gold in their settings. And the stones were according to the names of the sons of Israel, 12 according to their names, engraved like a signet, each one with its own name according to the 12 tribes. And they braided chains of corded work for the breastplate at the ends of clean gold, and they made 2 settings of gold and 2 gold rings, and put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. And they put the 2 cords of gold in the 2 rings on the ends of the breastplate, and the 2 ends of the 2 cords they fastened in the 2 settings and put them on the shoulder pieces of the shoulder garment in the front. And they made 2 rings of gold and put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate on the edge of it, which was on the inward side of the shoulder garment. And they made 2 pieces underneath the on the front of it, close to its seam, above the bur, and they bound the breastplate